Recently, Microsoft announced their new Surface laptop and new Surface Pro. Microsoft is technically calling them Surface Copilot Plus PCs. This is going to be a revolution in PC world for sure. If you're a tech enthusiast, you should be excited for this release, even if you're not buying them. Finally, Windows laptops are going to be as powerful and as efficient as Apple MacBooks. How's that? Why is it a revolution? I'll tell you all about that in this video. So let's get started. Apple MacBooks are considered the best in the market today for their performance per watt. Their M3, M3 Pro and M3 Maxes are super powerful, yet being usable as a laptop. This is very important because if you're able to achieve the same performance with lower power, then there is less heat. You will need less thermal management. You can stack more processors, you can bring more power to a laptop and get amazing battery life. If you want the same performance today in a Windows machine, you will need a bulky desktop with dedicated GPUs consuming 5 to 10 times more power and heat. Apple was able to achieve this when they transitioned from Intel processor to their custom-built M series processor. The secret is Apple's new processors were based on ARM architecture while Intel chips used x86 architecture. Without getting into too much details, think of it as ARM architecture being a simpler, more efficient version of performing computer instructions. Where x86 requires multiple instructions to perform an operation, ARM can do it with a single instruction. So ARM is faster and more efficient to perform the same operation, hence more battery life and smaller form factor. But it's not simple for manufacturers to simply move from one architecture of processors to another. Basically, all the operating system existing softwares are written for x86, which simply won't work on ARM. Developers will have to rewrite the code for every single software, which is not realistic. Then, how are all the softwares working properly on the new MacBook ARM processors? What Apple did was simply write an emulator called Rosetta 2. Rosetta 2 will sit between the software written for x86 architecture and the hardware, and it will translate each instruction of x86 to an ARM instruction. If you notice, this is simply extra work of converting each instruction. But Apple did such a good job with the emulation that even with this extra work, the MacBooks were still much faster than the previous Intel models. Then why didn't Microsoft do this too? Well, in fact, Microsoft did this. First Apple M1 processor was released in 2020, a whole year before Microsoft introduced a Surface Pro X, which was an ARM-based machine. The processor was called SQ1, and Microsoft had their own emulation layer to convert x86 to ARM instructions. The problem was the SQ1 and the translation were not that great. Mediocre chip with poor emulation made apps to run much slower than Intel chips, and they were not welcomed by customers happily. Fast forward 2024, things have changed. With some competition from Apple and with help of Qualcomm, Microsoft is going for a round 2. Qualcomm, famous for their powerful Snapdragon mobile chipsets, has introduced two new desktop class chips, the Snapdragon X Plus and Snapdragon X Elite. Both these are ARM-based chips which are extremely powerful while consuming very low power. In fact, based on benchmarks, they are much more powerful than Apple's M3 chips at the same watt. Microsoft also has revamped their x86 to ARM emulation. The new Surface Copilot Plus PCs are the revamp of their Surface lineup with the Snapdragon X series processor. They should, at least in theory, have MacBook level 2x performance with at least 2 times battery life as previous models. The real star of the PC revolution is actually because of the new Snapdragon X series chips. If the emulation works as good as Microsoft claims this time, and along with the new X series processors, we will soon see multiple laptops from manufacturers like Dell, Samsung, Acer, all with ARM processor which are much more powerful and efficient, possibly at a cheaper price than Apple's MacBooks. That's gonna be a big deal for a lot of people. Okay, with that long context, let's jump in and see what the new devices from Microsoft are. So 2 devices were announced, one a new Surface Pro model and second a new Surface laptop. Let's talk about the new Surface laptop first. They come in 2 sizes, a 13.8-inch model and a larger 15-inch model. They are direct competitors to Apple's MacBook Air. The 13-inch model has slightly become bigger from 13.5 to 13.8 inches in same form factor, Both are gorgeous HDR touchscreen displays. In terms of ports, there are two USB-C and one USB-A port. The previous model had just one USB-C. The front-facing camera is also a 1080p camera versus a 720p camera on the previous model. It comes with Wi-Fi 7 and you can configure both the laptops with a Snapdragon X Plus chip or an even powerful Snapdragon X Elite chip. The 13-inch model will start from $1,000, which is cheaper than a base model M3 13-inch MacBook Air, while the 15-inch model starts from $1,299. Battery life also has seen significant improvements from the previous model. Assuming the performance is comparable to the Apple M3, a base model 13-inch comes with an 8-core CPU, 8GB memory and 256GB SSD. And the Surface Laptop 13.8-inch model, on the other hand, comes with 10-core CPU, 16GB memory and 256GB SSD. All for $100 cheaper. The new Surface Pro models can also be configured with a Snapdragon X Plus or X Elite processor, 16 or 18 gigs of memory, up to a terabyte of SSD, and now also with an option of OLED display. Starts from $1,000. Okay, processor improvement, hardware changes, all fine. But why are they calling Copilot Plus PCs? Well, Microsoft is putting a lot of emphasis on AI as well for these new generation of devices, not just at software level, but even at hardware level. First off, the Snapdragon X series chips not just has a CPU and a GPU, but it also has something called an NPU, a neural processing unit. It's mainly used for AI-related tasks which can happen much faster on an NPU than on CPU or GPU. Qualcomm is touting this NPU as one of the world's most powerful NPU. And it's convenient for Microsoft that it's also integrating its AI called Copilot into its OS and devices. Now, all these AI processing will happen on the NPU of the chip, which will be much faster than before. Copilot AI is part of Windows OS. It now has a dedicated key on its Surface keyboard like a window key. Microsoft also has showcased some new AI features on its Surface laptop. The first one is called the recall feature. Basically, Windows will take a screenshot of every action you perform on your computer. PowerPoint presentation, Word document, team chat, Slack channel, etc. It will then try to make sense of all these screenshots, and now you can ask Copilot to recall something you worked on before. For example, you can ask Windows to look for a presentation you and your colleague worked on a project, a conversation you had with your manager in Teams, a report Excel you worked on but you couldn't find the exact location, and much more. Windows taking screenshot of everything you do feels a little icky, but at least you have an option of control. The webcam image processing is also enhanced using AI. It can de-blur images, add filters, blur or change backgrounds, and a lot more. Microsoft even revealed live translation and transcription features in audio and video call apps. All this while bringing productivity with help of AI to the next level. All things considered, I'm still curious to see how the ARM chips now perform on Windows, and I hope Microsoft fixes all the issues that it had with the previous ARM laptops. Honestly, Apple is having sort of a monopoly in terms of high performance and efficient laptops, and I'm really happy to see some competition and a worthy alternative. Samsung, Dell, Asus, HP are all coming up with ARM laptops with 22, 25 or 27 hours of battery life with amazing performance. I believe it's a big step in PC world. Let's see how real world experience turns out to be. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the new Snapdragon chips. Also, leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing too if you haven't already. I'll see you all in the next one. This is Anjana. Bye bye.